On August 12, 1887, in Vienna, Austria, Erwin Schrödinger was born, a man who would later become known for his outstanding contributions to the scientific community. He was the only child born to his parents Rudolf and Georgine Schrödinger. Schrödinger was raised in a very religious household. His mother was Lutheran and his father was Catholic. But despite being raised by two very religious parents and attending church at a young age, he himself was an atheist. He became interested in German poetry at a very early age, and by age 10, his vocabulary exceeded the vast majority of kids his age. He also grew up bilingual. His maternal grandmother was British, so at a very young age he was fluent in English. Schrödinger was homeschooled until he was 11 and loved the study of physics, eventually graduating with a PhD in it. However, his research came to an abrupt pause when he was drafted into World War I in 1914 and served as an artillery officer until the war ended. Upon returning to civilian life, Schrödinger married Anne-Marie Bertel. He and his wife had no children together, but Schrödinger fathered at least 2 children, all by different women, while being married to Anne-Marie. In fact, Erwin Schrödinger had several mistresses and kept a detailed diary of his numerous sexual affairs. One of these mistresses, whom he had a daughter with, was his colleague's wife. The colleague and wife eventually moved into the Schrödinger household, and they started a polyamorous relationship together. Another was a teenaged girl he impregnated while acting as her math tutor. As a professor, Schrödinger came upon the work of fellow physicist Louis de Broglie in 1925. De Broglie had proposed a theory of wave mechanics. This sparked Schrödinger's interest in explaining that an electron in an atom would move as a wave. The following year, using de Broglie's wave theory and Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, he formulated what would be known as the Schrödinger equation, which would disprove Niels Bohr's orbit theory. Schrödinger theorized that electrons move in rapid waves, and they have no exact location. Schrödinger's equation mathematically identifies the probability of the distance between the nucleus and electron. This became the basis of what would become the new atomic model, known as the electron cloud model or the quantum mechanical model. Schrödinger's model differs from Bohr's model as it does not define the exact path of an electron. It only predicts the odds of the electron's location based on probability. The model uses a cloud-like region where the electron is likely to be found. Where the cloud is most dense, the probability of finding the electron is greatest, and oppositely for where the cloud is the least dense. In 1933, Schrödinger and a man he worked closely with were awarded the Nobel Prize in Physics for their work in the wave equation and the discovery of new productive forms of the atomic theory. In the same year, Adolf Hitler came to power. Schrödinger and his wife escaped to Italy at the rise of the Nazi Party in Germany after Schrödinger angered officials with his open opposition to the party. Thanks to his undeniable influence on the world, Erwin Schrödinger had a lot of memorials and buildings named after him. Most notably, a crater on the dark side of the moon was named after the scientist. The crater is officially known as Large Crater Schrödinger. Foreseeably, all of his success had to eventually come to an end. Erwin suffered from tuberculosis many times over his years and was afflicted with a severe case of it in his last year. On January 4th, 1961, Erwin Schrödinger died of tuberculosis at the age of 73.